Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Scoop News or Uncensored Report. I wanted to touch on a subject because you hear all the time how everyone's coming after Facebook selling your data. And there's an interesting article that came out that talked about how the same company that purchased the data from Facebook actually purchased it from Twitter. And they talked about how they're embroiled in this scandal, and it came out through the Sunday Telegraph and just revealed how Twitter sold data, user data, to this guy, Alexander Kogan, at Cambridge University. And it's important because you may or may not realize it, but I'm actually don't read on Facebook a lot. I post on there because I have a huge audience, but I don't even like social media. Most of my stuff comes to me via Twitter. I have the phone set up, and I get alerts from individuals that that are putting out information that I want and that I can share. When they put out stuff, I go there, I click the link, I get the data. That's why on a lot of my posts, you'll see embedded in there are Twitter feeds that are coming down from different reporters. And then I'll go to Facebook and I'll post it. That's why when you guys post on the walls or you ask to join groups, I don't see them, the notifications. If you want to reach me, the best way is to email me at the fabruzzino@yahoo.com or through the Scoop News on Facebook, because when I go in there to post, I'll see I have a message, which I do go in there and post the links a lot. Back to the data, why this is important, because I'm on data more, or Twitter more, and there's a lot of people on there that are on Twitter. One, I might do a joint show with Saltwater lady, I forget her name. She's got like 50,000 followers. She's here on the Sun Coast. Huge supporter of Trump, huge. And so I thought, it'd be cool to do like 2 live shows on hers and mine simultaneously and just talk about the different issues out there. But what happens is Kogan says that the data that he used data from Twitter, and he says he used it for brand reports and survey extenders, which doesn't violate Twitter's policies. Basically, it's information that's given to the public, but Twitter goes out and sells this to large organizations in bulk. And they say, hey, we ban you from using it for political purposes, but he does. That's what their company specializes in, and there's no control over it. Essentially, how Facebook isn't controlling theirs. And it was interesting, the numbers. They said on the data licensing, which this is when they sell that batch data, that Twitter made up to 13% of Twitter's 2017 revenues of $333 million. Citron Research said that in 2018, that same form of data licensing will increase to a revenue of $400 million for Twitter. And it's the fastest growing segment. There's a tweet on it that they sent out basically covering it. And they said basically that selling individual data is where the huge chunk of the revenue is coming from. And it vastly outpaces that of advertising. The Cambridge Analytical guy said that they did take that data and they did use it for political advertising, but you don't hear any of that. For some reason, there's so much focus on Facebook, and I'm not sure why they are all doing this. And I think it's imperative, and I put out other communications before where you have to understand they're free platforms, and they're out there using your data, and that's basically how they're making it free. And, in reality, and it was funny, this Kogan guy, and there's a video if you want, I'll put a link to it, where he says that basically Facebook is still doing it. This is after the fact. Facebook is still out there selling these third-party apps, and these third-party apps clearly state within their terms of service that they're going to use your data, they're selling your data, they're mining your data. And it's still going on today. So I just thought it was interesting, especially since that's where I pull a lot of my data from is on Twitter. I only have like just under 1,000 followers on that one, and then on my local one, I think like 340. I don't really count the numbers because you know what? I'm in agreement with the Facebook executive and many others out there that people are using this as a dopamine. And basically they're out there saying, how many likes do I have? How many people are following me? So I've given all that up. I know I'm over 55,000 like on my local page, but I have no idea what the exact number is. If it goes up or down, I could care less. But it's interesting. And I sat back and reflected upon it, how it is used as though a stimulant, a dopamine stimulant, where you're like, oh, I got new likes, oh, I got 100 new likes, oh, I got 1,000 new likes. And how they were controlling and manipulating society using these tools, these social media tools, which is a whole different show I could cover. But I just thought it was interesting. So there you go. It's not just Facebook, like I said before. It's Twitter. It's LinkedIn. Not as much as LinkedIn. Google. I think I covered one show. Google's the worst. Google's the worst. What say you guys? This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.